Hey guys, Thunderside here, showing you a new deck that revolves around a new card we got from a structure deck that just came out, and it's Elemental Hero Brave Neos. So what he does, he's pretty much like a Neos. He's 2500, 2000. When he's out, he gets 100 attack for each Neospatian or hero in your graveyard. He's not that special stat-wise or effect-wise. He's very easy to get out because he only requires an Elemental Hero Neos and one level 4 or lower effect monster, which opens the door for all sorts of stuff. And we have a special way to summon him, which I'll show you guys later. But another new card we're using is Neospace Connector. Now you normal summon him, and he lets you special summon our Elemental Hero Neos in defense from the deck or your hand, from pretty much anywhere. And that's, you know, super useful. We use that in combination with things like Champion's Vigilance or Birthright. And sometimes even Wrath of Neos, which is select one Neos, send it to the deck, destroy all cards on the field. Super strong card. So other one-shots we're putting in are something like Dawn Knight. And we've also added in part of the Silent Swordsman archetype, about 6 cards from there. So some of the combos you would see all revolve around Neo Fusion. So this is the new way that actually makes this deck pretty decent, and this is how you're bringing out your Brave Neos. So you just use this, and it's a Brave Neos. You send the 2 monsters from your deck to the graveyard, and you just summon him. So it's an insanely easy way to summon him and to fuel your graveyard. And if that wasn't enough, it has a second effect where you can banish it from the graveyard, and it'll stop you from being destroyed by battle, destroyed by card effect. It'll stop certain fusion monsters from being returned to the hand by their own effect. All sorts of crazy stuff. So it's a really strong card. You can just tech it into other decks. But this deck revolves around Neos. Another fusion monster we have is the Neos Knight. He can't really do damage to your opponent, but he can attack every monster once. And he only requires 1 warrior, which we have plenty of warriors. I don't know if I went over Dawn Knight. He's pretty special as a one-shot. He has 2 effects. If we send him from the graveyard, or I'm sorry, if we send him from the deck to the graveyard with Neos Fusion, he'll trigger an effect where he'll send a light monster from your graveyard to the top of your deck. Now, if we send him from the field to the graveyard, he'll send a monster from the deck to the graveyard. So he's helping us out. He's letting us sort where we want our resources and things like that. But it's actually a pretty decent deck, guys. I'm using Miracle Draw just so I could get the cutscenes with Jaden and stick with Jaden kind of stuff. And Miracle Draw is a decent thing. It's like a +1 when you're running a heroes deck, so it's pretty useful. And I also find it's useful against 6 Samurai. It gives you that extra spell card you can just burn, and maybe they negate it, and you'll be able to use like a Neos Fusion or something without it being negated. But I hope you guys enjoy the replays, and I had a lot of fun with this deck, so enjoy. So here's a replay versus obviously a 6 Samurai. So let's see how they do. We're going first, which is actually good against a 6 Samurai. You don't want them to go first and just set up a dual wield where you can't really do anything. So here, as you can see, this is a terrible hand to have to face them. So we send a Connector and a Neos to the graveyard to summon our Brave Neos. We have a follow-up next turn. As you can see, it's 6 Sam. He's using a bunch of his draw cards. Normal summons an Enshi. Special summons a Keyzon. That's going to give him a +4 from those. He's got a whole new hand. Has to pass his turn because he can't swing over our Brave Neos. We're going to use a second Neos Fusion. Now, we already sent a Connector to the graveyard. Now we're going to send Dawn Knight to the graveyard. Dawn Knight's going to let us put that Connector right on the top of our deck. So next turn we're going to have a Connector follow up with our Silent Swordsman. Here, as you can see, sorry if you missed that, we brought out a Neos Knight instead of another Brave Neos, because Neos Knight can attack each monster. So he's able to kill both the 6 Samurai monsters, and he's able to direct attack. But this guy's not done. He has 6 cards in his hand, and it's 6 Samurai. You know they can come back. So he's doing fine. He has this normal setup. That's going to activate his dojo, turn him right into a Shien. He gets another +2. He's digging through his deck even faster than we are. Brings out the Shien, draws 2, sets 2, ties that binds, That's going to let him swing over our Neos Knight. We Neos Fusion for our Neos Knight. That's going to be very important later. It seems like a waste, but that's very important. So here, we have our connector. Normal summon him. Doesn't get his effect, but we get our Silent Swordsman. That's going to activate Dual Wield. He's going to send our Neos Knight and our Brave Neos back to our hand. Normally devastating, but we have so much depth in this deck. We're able to swing with the Silent Swordsman, buff him up. Xian makes a mistake here. He thinks he can negate this. It clearly says cannot be negated, so it is not negated. We swing over him. That kills our Silent Swordsman because we're both 2500. That lets me special summon the level 7. Swing with the level 7 and win the game. So pretty cool, pretty fast stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed the replays. I like the deck. Thanks a lot. So this first one's a pretty long duel. We're fighting a Despots. So Despots are pretty tricky, but it's a good opportunity to show you how well this swarms the field. So, not the best hand in the world, but it's good because we're going to get Neos on the field. We have a birthright to get him back, and we're going to get our Silent Swordsman on the field. So we normal summon the connector. That's going to summon our boy immediately, a Neos. A nice little animation. Another older one, right when GX came out, we had this Neos animation, and now we're going to be seeing it a lot more. Because we're going to be seeing Neos around. Definitely just the fusion spell. Because you can just add the fusion spell and add some Neos to your deck, and then you have him. So here we sack off our connector for our Silent Swordsman. So here, he's trying to swing into us and kill us using Despot 4's effect. We don't take damage from Despot 4's effect, but when he kills a monster, he gets the special summon 2 Despots. He's got a special summon this 9, and I think a 3. Yeah, and we get to special summon our Silent Swordsman level 4 when our first Silent Swordsman dies. So now we've swarmed the field, we're attacking into everything. We get Curse of Anubis, but that doesn't affect Neos, obviously, so he still goes and attacks. Despots are coming at us now. 9 uses his effect. He's going to destroy us. Now, I could have saved him with this Silent Sword Slash. We would have had just enough defense, but I decided to save it. So here we have another Neos Space Connector. He's going to bring out another Neos. You see how easy a Neos this is? Makes you wish Champion's Vigilance wasn't taken out. So here, we swing with our first Neos. He gets hit by Despot 04's effect and dies. We don't take damage, so it's okay. We have room for our Birthright now. Birthright out, another Neos. We get hit by Canadia swinging at 4 again. And Connector killed a little Despot who wasn't able to protect himself. Brings out another 4, swings with 9. Kills our little Connector. Here we have our Neos Fusion. See, you just throw the card, throw an effect monster and a Neos into the graveyard, and you're good. So here I chose to go with the Neos Knight over the Brave Neos because I wanted to swing at all the monsters. He can just keep swinging at all the monsters. So, as such, he has to get rid of this guy. My Neos swings into 4. 4 uses his effect. We lose 1 Neos. That's okay. He can only do it once. Now we hit him for 2k. We're doing pretty good. He's in a top deck mode. He's switcherooing. Only has 2 cards. We have all this. Dawn Knight really gets you going with your combos and resources. So we have a lot going on for us. Here we pull. Now this is an interesting play. We pull our Wrath of Neos. We're going to send the Neos back, destroy all the monsters, and protect our Neos Knight. Now Neos Knight can't attack directly, so we had to have a follow-up with this guy. And now I'm going to show you just how we make this work. So we destroy our own Silent Sword Slash with our Wrath of Neos. We sent the Neos back, destroy all cards in the field, including our Silent Sword Slash. That's going to let us search a Silent Swordsman. We put our Dawn Knight there, sacrifice the Dawn Knight. He's going to let us throw a monster from the deck back into the graveyard, throw one last Neos. We get to direct attack. He has literally no cards at this point. Swing with him. He doesn't do damage, like I said. It's just a demonstration. And he gains an attack. He switcheroos. So here you're going to see me make a play to play around Karibo. I sack off my Neos Knight for another Swordsman. Now we have 2 lethal swings, and he actually did have a Kribo, so it's good we did. Swing both ways, and there we go. Crazy stuff, guys. Hope you enjoy. Okay, so here I think we're playing another Neos deck, a mirror match of a Neos deck. People like to play Neospatians in this deck. I have no idea why. When I was seeing everyone play Neospatians, I had to look at the cards. I'm like, does it say we have to? I'm looking at all the new cards. I'm like, nothing says we have to use Neospatians. So I'm not going to use Neospatians. And it's like, they're just such a bad archetype that Neos would have to stay away from it completely to have any kind of relevance. But here we go. So we're starting normal. You summon connector, summon Neos, sack off the connector for a Swordsman, set down the Silent Sword Slash. 1500. This guy has a connector of his own, but he brings out a Neospatian. Neospatian discards that, looks at our hand or something. Now, Connector gets his own effect where he can special summon a Neos from the grave by tributing himself. He does that contact summon of an Aqua Neos who discards from my hand, and he will not be sent back by his own effect, but he will be killed by my Silent Sword Slash. So it does damage, he's dead. So now this is kind of bad manners, but I just want to show you guys the plays. So he's pretty much done. There's nothing he can do. He ran into like a battle trap. But let's show you, let's say we had more to do. So we send our Dawn Knight from the graveyard to summon our Brave Neos. When Dawn Knight is sent from the graveyard, you get to return a light monster from your graveyard to the top of your deck. This is useful for this level 7 because now he's back in our deck. We don't want to draw him on the top of the deck, so we activate our Silent Sword Slash. That shuffles our deck. Now he's live again if he's destroyed. But of course we had game anyway, so I just want to show you guys the replays. But